Hey folks, it's Lauren from Snowy's here. We've got the Kickass QuickFire Portable 2000 Induction Cooktop. Now this one weighs about 2 kilos and measures are just under 40 centimeters by about 30 centimeters wide and about 3 centimeters high. It is a 240 volt unit here, so it will run on that sort of 220 to 240 volt. I'm just plugging it in. We've got a big kick charge here that we're going to run that off of today. So it's a 2000 watt cooker. We've got a 2400 watt output here in our 240 power source there. And I've also got an induction compatible saucepan here with some water. I think it's just under a litre there. And we're going to pop that in and we'll do a boil test in a minute. Hold up fam, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any awesome content on the Snowy's channel. Let's get into it. So before we get into the functions, it does come with this silicone protective mat that can sit on top of the cooktop like that. It's going to protect the cooktop from any scratches. It's also a bit of a non-stick base, so if you are like boiling water or doing things and you might get your surface a bit wet or slippery, this is a good thing to have in the mix. And it won't affect your cooking either, because obviously induction works via like a magnetic transfer. And you also get this padded storage bag with the cooker, which is excellent. It's got a nice big zip that opens right the way up for easy in and out. And we've got a storage pocket here for tucking in anything extra that you might want, like tea towels or I don't know, anything you might want to chuck in here. And we've got a couple of handles on the outside, so it's a nice easy carry case. So quick and easy operation we've got for the cooktop. So you've got your on and off button here, which turns your unit on and off. We've got the little Celsius degrees warm button. So it's going to throw us up an error message actually, because I don't have a pot on the cooker, so I'll pop that on there. So that's going to automatically put your cooktop at a keep warm setting, which is the lowest at 80 degrees here or 200 watts. You've got a lock button which you can press and hold, and that will prevent any of these functions or buttons here from being interacted with. And I'm going to turn off that lock then again. We'll get a beep and that light should go. Yep. We've got a timer, so you can set how long you want your cooktop to go for. So you're just going to be using your plus and minus here, and this is going up in minutes. So we've got that set for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, etc., etc. And then if we press that again, it will turn the timer off. We've also got a pause feature. Now this, you might think, oh, why do I need a pause feature? But I find this really cool, because if you do have something on the pot and it's cooking away and you just want to say hit pause, take the pot off, maybe chop up some veggies, chuck it in, and then put it back on and hit your pause button again or your play button, it's going to go straight back to exactly the settings that you had it on before. So that's a nifty little feature. And then across the top here you can see we've got a range of automatic settings for different features or functions that you might want to use your cooktop for, and that is all controlled by your function button here. So if I hit this function button first, actually before I do that, what I'll just sort of highlight that you've got on the front here, obviously, your plus and minus, which is going to be your adjustment. And you've also got your indicators for your temperature and also the wattage for the cooktop as well. So hitting the function, it's going to, so we've got instantly going to hot pot. That's going to jump to 180 degrees or 1200 watts as a default function. You can cycle through to your barbecue, congee, soup, steam, boiling of water, milk, frying, which is obviously your highest setting. So these will default you and jump to a temperature most suitable for those sort of common cooking features. Obviously hot pot, congee, things like that, more Asian based foods. I'm assuming that the design of this cooktop obviously is originating in Asia. So we're going to move through to this water section here, and now we're sitting there. I'm going to chuck a timer on, and interestingly enough, we're going to also take a look at our power output. Now the reason why I wanted to highlight this for you is that being a 2000 watt cooker, the recommendation would be, if you're running this off a 12 volt system, you would have an inverter that would cover 2200 watts, because you want to allow for any loss of current through the transfer from 12 volt to 240 volt. But running this currently on the 2000 watt setting here, we can see that the unit's actually only pulling 1200 watts. Now it is interesting because I have also run this cooktop just off camera here prior to filming on our companion Rover, which is a different brand power station. We're getting exactly the same readings. So even though it does specify that it's currently sitting at that 2000 watt power level, it's in real life, it's only really pulling 1200 watts. So we might just leave that sit, and we're gonna see if the power at any stage spikes, maybe as like a maintenance load, or if the wattage that it's pulling is changing over time. So the water that we've got boiling is starting to show some condensation on the top, which you might be able to see through that glass lid there. So it looks like that's actually starting to roll, get a bit of a rolling boil going. So we're looking at around about 2 minutes 40, 2 minutes 50 here. I'll take the lid off and we'll just keep that water going. As you can see, the water that we've got here is now at sort of a very consistent rolling boil, and we're seeing that our wattage has dropped from around about that 1200 mark down to around about the 1100 mark. So the unit is obviously drawing less power to keep this temperature maintained now the water is up to heat. Now, gauging that sort of 3 minute time to boil water, going off of a 1200 watt current draw, that's essentially converting to about 5 amp hours. And if it's only taking around 3 minutes to boil your nearly 1 litre of water, that's going to be an equivalent to around about 1/4 of an amp or 0.25 of an amp from your system that it will take using this cooktop here. Now, obviously, it is a 2000 watt unit, so you will want to be really mindful of that when you're choosing your battery and inverter combination if required. But as you can see here, you probably will be safe getting away with, say, a 1500 watt inverter to run this cooktop even on its maximum setting. And with that 3 minute boil time, you're certainly not losing out on any power. So I would say that's about it for the Kickass QuickFire Portable Induction Cooktop at 2000 watts, or maybe not in real life, but you can grab this one at snowies.com.au at our low prices every day.